Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do SANJULIAN'S Queens of the Lost Worlds from Opus Comics. My relationship with Opus Comics is not really that good. For instance, I did a couple of reviews of Death Dealer. Let's say I'm not a big fan. I really hated that comic because of not of the art. The art is pretty good. The covers are also good because those have mostly Frank Frazetta covers. That's really what I like. But the writing is very childish in my opinion, very stupid. But I like what Opus is doing. Having how do you say, publishing or telling stories from you know Frank Frazetta's stories and even Sanjulian's stories. Well, if you can call it stories, mostly there's Sanjulián is a painter from Spain, born in 1941. He did a lot of work for heavy metal. He did Vampirella, covers for Eerie and Creepy. 1984, a lot of sword and sorcery covers and artwork. It's as you can see here because this is his cover, and Opus is translating those covers into stories, and I like that. But it's mostly hit and miss. Sorry, mostly miss for me. So what is this all about? Well, I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna dive right in, and we're gonna talk a little bit. So it seemed okay. Well, this is of course also a sword and sorcery, sandal monster, high fantasy story, and we have these guys looking for someone, and they are on, well, let's say not so much of a quest, but an errand, and they are looking for someone, and that someone comes out and says. What is with the resolution, dude? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm gonna edit this part out, but I have trouble with the resolution here. Yeah, here we go. Your feckless trampling scared every beach for miles. I could have killed you both many times, but I am curious. Before I cut his throat, tell me more of this errand of yours. Wait, please, we meant no harm. We come in search of the huntress, under the orders of Her Highness the Dragon Queen. And then they showed him, I don't know, the seal of approval, I guess, right? And so she's reading: strictest secrecy, utmost urgency, recompensed generously. You may survive this night. We must waste no time, my little errand boys. Onwards, we mustn't keep Her Majesty waiting. Okay, so this book goes a little bit from back and front to different places, to different characters. As you know, here on the Forsaken Plains. And then we see this shot of this woman, which reminds me immediately of the movie Highlander. And there is the Highlander fights a villain called the Kurgan, which is in my opinion, one of the best villains ever created. And also the movie is fantastic, has the Queen soundtrack, really reflects the movie and the story. It's really, really good. Anyway, she's being attacked by the undead, and the undead is grabbing her, and she's fighting back, but these undead monsters are too strong, and they're pulling her down into the earth. Okay, I was wondering what's gonna happen. Well, we're gonna find out. And meanwhile, we go to somewhere else. And so the story it tells about that the man that's come from the mud has risen and evolved in, I don't know, people that now created a kingdom. And this must be a little bit weird, but when I see this kingdom, that reminds me of, well, a monster face, the teeth and the nose and then the eyes. I cannot unsee it, right? But hey. So, and then there's also the part when dragons rule the earth, but this particular race here has a symbiotic relationship with the dragons. Basically, they also tame them, right? And this basically, what's the TV series with the Dragon Queen? Ah, Jesus, with Daenerys. I forgot. I just had it a second on my tongue. But you know which one I mean, right? So because this queen is the queen of the dragons, right? And there's something disturbing behind this door, and it's not all well. But then the Grand Vizier comes in, and the Grand Vizier has a message for the queen, and he says and he talks about Egyptian queen's armies growing. An entire new legion has arrived in Kemet from the farthest east. Surely that is no consort of ours, says the queen. I trust them not, Majesty. Though your alliance may be centuries old, we may remember the Egyptians will pray and offer tribute to the beast gods. Their deities share their lineage with the horrors of the Scorpion Queen's catacombs. That piques my interest. I mean, Dragon Queens, Scorpion Queens, pretty cool, right? I must say the art is pretty good, but it's not perfect. I talked in a couple of comics ago that, let's say I'm not a big fan of modern art because, let me rephrase that. The art is good, but modern art always doesn't, what's with the beeping outside? There's a lot of noise outside. Okay. Let's ignore that for now. But modern art has always the tendency not to finish the art, as you can see with this arch here. We have this line work and then it stops and then it goes. And here in the back as well. Also, I mean, is this the light coming through from this window? But then where is the shadows, right? Because if the light's coming through, why isn't this place a little bit darker? Why doesn't cast it more shadows? But that's more, in this case, a little bit nitpicking because I think the art is pretty solid. It's not the best, but it's pretty solid, right? And so the Grand Vizier talks about the troubles the queen has with the dragon, and she says that the communion between her and the dragon grows more difficulty, and she also has this, I don't know, familiar maybe. So she says the entire alliance of fire rests upon Terra Drag's supremacy, and without her we are weak. She's talking about the main dragon, right? Without the Magna Mater we have nothing. I have nothing. I fear we must take desperate measures. All right, okay, intriguing. And then we go to the catacombs of the Ossos, where this woman is yelling, and she says, "Necromancer, enchanter, witch, whoever raised these foul hordes, if you can hear me, then know this. I am Furia the Warrior." Is that a title? The Warrior? I have a bone to pick with you. That is so lame. So yeah, the dialogue is not that fantastic. Also, I have a little bit trouble with this page, and she cleaves this monster in two, but because it's also heavy black and dark in the surroundings with the grays and all that stuff, we barely see what's going on, because I immediately see her face, but then I see some kind of a black blob here. So it would be nice, because we have a light source that nobody does anything with it. I mean, talking about the colorist. It would be nice if the light sources would shine a little bit here on the corpse that she's cleaving in two, that we see parts of the corpse cleaved in two, right? Or, anything but black, heavy black. My main gripe in comics. Anyway, so she says, "I find you, puppeteer, and a way out of this accursed place." All right. And then we go back to the queen's place, and we see this warrior woman, the other one that in the beginning, and she says, "When I was summoned to the far-famed queendom of Queendom of the Dragon Queen, this is not the reception I expected. But the smith makes a fine stew, keeps a good barrel of ale, and my blade has never been keener. So, your majesty, what is it I can do for you? Busca, huntress, your reputation precedes you. I have heard tell that you can find anything, be it man, beast, or object." "Aye, for the right price," he says. But then, and then this vizier talks about where she gets this sword, and she says, well, you can see what's happening here. But I'm going to skip that, right? And so she says, "Hey, All you've heard is true, Your Majesty, and more besides. But I'm afraid before we go any further, you must satisfy my curiosity. What is it that you wish to ask? Well, call me suspicious, overly cautious, or what you will, but I can't help wondering why the Dragon Queen would require my services, right? And she says, perhaps my invitation was not clear enough for you. And basically she says that the task that she's giving this Busca Queen warrior is for, delicate and mostly strictly in secrecy. And such utilizing the expertise of someone like yourself, to whom myself and my queendom have no ties, seems prudent. In other words, if I get caught on this job of yours, no one could trace it back to you. No matter how dreadful the deed, it will be on my head. There is no dreadful deed. All I want is for you to obtain something for me. Someone which in truth is already mine. Ooh, that does sounds like an expensive job. And see all this gold and all that stuff, right? All right. Like I say, intriguing. And then we go back to this warrior, or the warrior, that he is still being attacked by undead, and looks good, I must say. And so she is entering a chamber, and what's going on here? So this witch here, or whatever, necromancer, is making love to the undead, and she says, join us. And then we go back to the queen again, and the lair of the Magnamator, and she is trying to talk with the dragon. And I believe the dragon has some kind of a telepathic link with the dragon queen, but she doesn't always understand what the dragon tries to tell her. And so I think that the dragon is telling her that the dragons will be no more, or being wiped out or something like that. But also, in my opinion, like I said, there's small gripes that I have. I would have colored this dragon a little bit differently, more like the horns, maybe a more whiter color, like bone, instead of all this gray. Here as well, a lot of gray and dark and brown and more gray. It just muffles the page, right? If you are double spread page, make it pop, maybe a different color, maybe other colors. I mean, we have the blues in here, but it's still pretty dark. Small gripes, but I wanted to point it out. Anyway, so she says, all is not lost, mother. I have taken steps. She's saying mother to the dragon. Soon I shall have the means to understand you. Soon all will be clear soon all will be clear to me, and then you shall be cured, saved, and the Queen of Terradrak saved with you. So the dragon is sick? Okay. Maybe that's what she's trying to say, that she's maybe dying. Okay, interesting. And meanwhile, the warrior is being, abused, or the other words that I cannot say on YouTube, by this necromancer and her undead lover. And I love these small things that the bones are just holding her, right? These skeleton arms, and I don't know. She says, taste now, brave warrior, taste the exquisite kiss of death. And before she's getting sucked dry, she's being hailed, I guess, by the Queen of Demons, another very simplistic word. And look at she's not happy with that. Who's disturbing me? Or something like that. So we end here on this, not so much of a cliffhanger, but, So it is, I am extremely bitter, O mother of fiends. It is fortunate that I caught you before you buzzed yourself and further. Remember our pact, Nyx. Though you never swore to help me, you did agree not to hinder me. Release the warrior. And she says, she works for me, and she must not be harmed, or something like that. And that leads us to the next one. Like I said, it's not really a good cliffhanger, but I must give quote-unquote props to the writer, that it's he or is it a he? Let me double check real quick. Leah Moore and John Reppion. Yeah, that could be a man and a woman. I don't know. But, you know, not using modern slang in this comic, so that I'm happy with that. Therefore, I give it a thumbs up because I wanted to know more. And then we have this cover for the next issue. And more cover gallery. The art looks great when it comes to covers, right? Look at this. Pretty fun. So yeah, I'm mildly interested. I got 2 comics here. It's way better than Death Dealer, and I enjoyed Dawn Attack, but you know, this is more up my alley. Never bought Mothman, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at issue number 2 and see if it's actually worth buying the rest. So guys, let me know what you think about in the comments below. That would really help me. Leave a like and all that jazz. See you next time. Bye-bye.